Hey guys, Dr. J here. In the previous episode, we completed World 1-2, defeated the Tower Knight demon and fought for the first time with Black Phantoms. We also killed the Red Drake and defeated our first named enemy, Executioner Mirauda. We learned about the World Tendency mechanic and were again able to help Ostrava with his quest. Today we'll have a little change of scenery. We'll travel to World 2-1. I said before that there is a very powerful spell in World 3-1, but it's not at all necessary in order to complete the entirety of World 2. So I'll just go ahead and do that. But before we do travel there, let's talk a bit with Ostrava. He has somehow found his way to the Nexus. This is something all NPCs we meet tend to do.
Boletaria was a grand kingdom. The king, his knights, and his subjects were modest and plain, but also steadfast and compassionate. In the distant southern kingdom, Boletaria was known as paradise on earth. But look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for our great land.
Well, this pretty much confirms it. Ostrava is the son of King Allant.
Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the last hero. The two swords are Demon Brand and Soul Brand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The last hero is old King Doran. King Doran is the Everlasting One, founder of Boletaria and protector of the two swords. Of course, only according to legend. But in the dark state of our land, legends are all we can depend upon.
Some more interesting bits of lore? We will eventually encounter all of the things he just mentioned. Will he say anything else interesting?
King Allant led Boletaria with a round table of brave knights. The Royal Twin Fangs, Valifax and Bjor. Alfred, the Knight of the Tower. Metas, the Knight of the Lance. And the brave tribesman, Longbow Ulan and his fearsome legions. But today, Boletaria is an abysmal mess. Valifax was lost, and Bjor slipped through the fissure, never to be heard from again. All the rest, along with Boletaria, have been devoured by the fog, and will soon be prey to the demons. The Boletarian Knights are no longer. But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes, such as yourself.
Okay, so when I was talking about the Phalanx demon, I said that there wasn't anything special about him. I was in fact wrong. The Phalanx demon is the corrupted form of Longbow Ulan. That's why it had its legion of hoplites protecting it. And now we are finally ready to travel to World 2. After we arrive at the Arkstone, we should climb up these stairs. When we reach the top, we'll see a new merchant.
Hello there, souls. Souls. I trade fine goods for souls.
He doesn't offer anything particularly interesting. The new consumable we see here is Ed's Grindstone, that can repair our equipment when used. Which reminds me, I forgot to repair our stuff when we were at the Nexus. Whatever, it should be fine. There's also a crystal lizard here we can kill. Oops, didn't mean to use the Crescent Moon grass. Now we should continue down this path until we reach the end. There is an item we can pick up. Good, we can now return to the merchant and cross the bridge. We should be careful when crossing the bridge. There are a couple of scale miners above the gate to the mines that are constantly throwing huge boulders. We should time it so we can dodge them. It's not the end of the world even if we do get hit, but obviously it would be better if we can avoid it. The item we just picked up will be very useful in World 2-2, so don't forget to get it. Now that we're inside the mines, we should first turn this handle. It will activate this lift that we can use to ride all the way to the top. This is something that we'll have to do a few more times in this level. Using certain handles or levers will open new paths to us, some of which we whacked as shortcuts. There is a fat official we need to kill here. This is the first time we get to fight one. although we already saw one of them during the Tower Knight fight. They can fight both in close or long range, but they do prefer using their flame toss spell. They're not particularly difficult to kill. All we have to do is use a soul arrow, then dodge or just strafe their spell, and then use another soul arrow. After we defeat him, there are a couple of scale miners we need to kill on this balcony, and we can then pick up the item here. And the item is a Crushing Battle Axe +1. It's the first enchanted weapon we're getting. Of course, we already could have enchanted some of our weapons at Blacksmith Baldwin, but this is the first one we're getting for free. The Crushing upgrade improves the stat scaling from strength, but removes the dexterity scaling. So it's a good weapon if you're focusing on strength, obviously. We are now riding the lift to the bottom. There is an item we can pick up there. If we were in pure black world tendency, there would also be a primordial demon here. They dropped the colorless demon soul. We already got one, but we'll have to kill a primordial demon at some point, so we can buy a certain hidden miracle. Okay, now that we've picked up the Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, we can go back to the middle level of the lift. There is an item over there near the Arkstone, but we'll get to it a bit later. Okay, this is our stop. The most common enemy in this level are the scale miners. Not all of them are hostile, however, which is why I won't attack the ones that are just minding their own business. Except if they're the type carrying an ore bag. I might kill some of those, since they drop a lot of ores. We have a high enough magic stat to be able to one-shot most of them, but some have more health than the others, and we need 2 soul arrows for them. This part is a bit tricky. There are 3 dogs behind this stack of jars, so I'm trying to bait them into attacking and breaking the jars. I can then lock onto them and kill them. It didn't go quite as I planned, but it's pretty difficult to kill them without taking any damage. There are a lot of miners here on whom you can lock onto instead by accident. Might be worth killing them first if you're worried about it, but our level is high enough, so things have to go really badly for us to die to these dogs. And now we have to kill this fat official. If the game stops screwing us over and allows us to lock onto him... Okay, finally. Good, now let's enter the room he was in and pick up the item we saw behind him. Some more upgrade materials. Now let's go back into the previous room and through the doorway on our left. There will be a scale miner waiting to ambush us. This will happen a lot in these narrow corridors, which is extremely frustrating because of the janky lock-on. Now we need to go up these stairs, and there will be another scale miner at the top. We have to wait for him to get in line of sight so we can lock on. Come on, dude. Great. Usually we won't take damage when their weapon is clipping through the walls, but occasionally it happens. And there's one more scale miner here. This one at least didn't pose us any problems. There is nothing in this room, so let's continue through the corridor. Actually, that's not quite correct. There is something in this room, but it was on the other side of the minecarts. That something was a pickaxe. It's just a curiosity. It absolutely sucks as a weapon. Though you can use it for a challenge run, I guess. Okay, we should go up this ramp now. There is another staircase here, but we should ignore it for now and focus our attention on this wooden bridge. Once we start going over it, it will collapse, except for this plank on the left edge. We should try to run as quickly as possible and then fight the fat official on this platform. He can push us off that plank if he hits us with his flame toss. I recommend just strafing his spells, since it will be very easy to fall off while dodge rolling. Good. Now we can take our time and pick up the items. Okay, there's nothing else here. Let's use the plank again to go back where we were. Actually, I've gone a little too far. Let's go back on the bridge and drop on the lower level. Good, now let's turn around and go down these stairs. Here's one of those scale miners with ore bags I was talking about. I won't waste time killing this one, but feel free to do so if you're so inclined. We now need to kill this hostile miner and go across the bridge. Actually, I'm not sure this was a bridge, but this one definitely is, and we need to go across it as well. If we break these crates in the corner, we'll find another item. A couple of adze grindstone, nice. We probably won't have to use them, but they are extremely expensive. This white phantom here is showing us that we need to use this lever. Now that the gate is open, we can go back to the entrance of the mines and make our way to the collapsed bridge. There was a staircase we ignored the first time. In order to reach the gate, we'll need to climb it. This level is designed around backtracking, so be ready to do that a lot. On the other hand, if we ever need to revisit the level, we'll be able to go anywhere we want quite quickly. Great, we're back here already. Let's climb the stairs and pick up this item. Another itemized soul. Okay, time to go through the gate. This is the first fog gate in this level. It kinda feels like we've done quite a lot of stuff, and yet we're only at the first fog gate. But don't worry about it, we're actually about halfway through the level. These fire lizards are another new type of enemy. They only have a short range attack and are extremely easy to kill and are worth a decent amount of souls, so I try to kill all I come across. Let's go up this ramp. Now we should turn left and go up the next one. We can pick up an item from this corpse. And we should now go inside the room on the right. Inside there's just a few fire lizards and an item on the ground. Like I said, the lizards are worth a decent chunk of souls, so it's worth spending a bit of time killing these here. Unfortunately, we won't be able to kill the ones on the inner side of this well because of the railings. Well, actually, we might be able to kill them, but I don't want to waste time and MP trying to find the perfect spot to shoot them from. And that was the fire lizard's attack. I wanted to save some MP and finish them off with the scimitar, but it's really not worth it. Now let's kill that last one and grab the item. Damn, he fell down. Oh well. The Shard of Dragonstone is just another type of upgrade material. Remember this place because we'll come back here soon. The stairs going down lead to lava, but that will change. Right now though, we have no choice but to go up the stairs ahead of us and kill all of the hostile scale miners. Okay, let's continue and go past this fog gate. We'll first go to the end of this tunnel. The other scale miners here are not hostile. We should first pick up the item on the left and then turn around and go towards the wooden ramp. There is another item over there. We should now go down the ramp and turn the handle. This will both unlock a shortcut as well as give us access to the second blacksmith in the game. Before we go all the way down though, let's jump off on the floor below to pick up another item. Okay, we can now continue riding the lift until we are all the way down to the bottom. This lift also leads to the merchant near the Arkstone, making this a huge shortcut. Before talking with the blacksmith, let's go out on the balcony and pick up the item we saw from the first lift. Good. Now let's see what the blacksmith can offer us.
I haven't seen you around these parts. What does it matter? You need a blacksmith, show me some coin. If not, head straight for the door.
Might as well ask him to repair our equipment, since I forgot to do it in the Nexus. Okay, now let's see if he'll tell us something more about himself.
I'm not here to chit-chat. Forging a weapon strengthens it. It alters its character. Those are transmogrified sprites. Their presence blesses the weapon.
Okay, well, that wasn't particularly interesting. What he didn't say is that he can make advanced upgrades. More precisely, he can imbue certain weapons with demon souls. In order to do that, however, we will need a specific saw to get him started. This is mostly something we'll be doing in the end game, when we need to unlock all the weapon trophies. Oh, and perhaps I should have mentioned it before, but the reason I'm not really farming upgrade materials, despite needing a huge amount of them for the weapon trophies, is because I'll be duping them. But that's something I'll explain a bit later. Now let's go through this fog gate. Damn, this one was waiting for us. Let's kill him and continue. We may need to heal up a bit. We'll be entering a forge. Most of the miners here are neutral, but there's also one that's hostile. After we kill him, we can grab an item that's right of the middle furnace. Now we can go ahead and leave the forge. We'll be exiting into another big open space. There is a crystal lizard left of us, so we should move carefully and try to kill him. Good. Now we should quickly grab his loot and then go back. There are several scale miners, some of whom will be throwing boulders at us. We don't have to worry about them though, we can sneak up behind them. But before we do that, there is a few items we should go grab. These planks are also on the verge of collapsing, but as long as we're quick, we'll be able to cross them. Unfortunately, we won't be able to go back the same way. Our only option is to drop down near the well with the fire lizards. Since it will take a bit of time to get back, I'll probably fast forward it. Okay, well, that was actually faster than I thought. Now, at first, this looks like a dead end. But if we just break these barrels of gunpowder, we'll see a staircase. We're now on top of the forge. If we continue towards the item, we'll appear behind that mob of miners. We should kill the ones nearest to us, but we don't have to bother with the rest. Okay, let's kill this one as well. Good, this should be enough. Now let's drop down here and pick up another item. And we can drop down once more and pick up yet another item. The steel shield is a decent shield, but it requires 18 strength. We can now go up this ramp and reach a giant column with a few fire lizards stuck on it. As usual, we should kill them all. This time I'm not going to bother using my melee weapon. There is an item in front of us, but before getting it, let's do a full circle counterclockwise around this column so we can kill all of the fire lizards. Wow, this one was already waiting for us. Okay, I think there should be a couple more stuck to the other side of the column. Yeah, here they are. Huh, he actually died from the fall damage. Interesting. So the item was just an upgrade material. Now let's go down this ramp and... well, usually there are 3 dogs waiting for us down at the bottom, but looks like one of them managed to climb it. Which is good for us. We now only have to deal with 2. I mean, they're still dogs, and because of this lock-on system, it can sometimes be pretty difficult to kill even one. Let's heal up and pick up the item left of us. Another couple of Ed's grindstones. We can now continue and go down another ramp. Just some half-moon grass. Once we reach the bottom, there will be a few hostile scale miners we'll need to kill. Nothing particularly difficult, we should be able to one-shot them. Okay, this is the last one that's hostile to us, but I'll go ahead and kill the one with the ore bag as well, just to show you what kind of loot you can expect from them. Oh wait, there was one more hostile miner. Okay, now that we've killed them, we can turn this handle. It will be the last one we'll need to use. This opens the path near the well with fire lizards. It was blocked by lava, or something like that, and now that we've redirected the water to it, we can safely walk over it. By the way, while we're going there, let me just talk a bit about the lore of this level. This has obviously been a mining colony used by Boletaria. I'm confident of that because of the fat official we fought here. The name of the Arkstone makes it sound like this is another kingdom, but that's not the case. Or perhaps back when the Arkstones were created, it was another kingdom. I don't know. There is a ring of poison resistance here we can easily miss, but shouldn't. Not only because we need it for the trophy, but also because it can actually be useful in World 5. We're almost at the end of the level. We just need to climb a couple more staircases. And now we need to go down one. We should be careful, however. It leads to a room full of barrels with gunpowder, where there is a fog gate guarded by a fat official. We should bait him into exploding as many of the barrels as possible, so we'll have an easier time dodging his attacks. Doesn't look like he wants to cooperate. Finally. Okay, this should be good enough. Let's go kill him. The wooden beams offer great protection, so this will be an easy fight. Nice, we can go through the fog gate now. After we go through it, we should turn right and destroy the cart to reveal an item. Another stone of ephemeral eyes. I'm not sure if I explained what this item does. It's a consumable that can restore our physical form if we're in soul form. We'll need quite a lot of those when we start manipulating the world tendency. There is a scale miner that will drop down from above. He was the last enemy standing between us and the boss. We should continue along this path until we reach a large lift. There are a couple of items here. One of them is tucked away in a corner near the lift. Here it is, some more upgrade materials. And the other one is up the ramp we passed by. This is the Chris Blade, arguably the most valuable item in this level. For our class at least. If we dual wield it along with a catalyst, it will increase our magic attack. In its default state, it only increases it with 4.8%, but that's still quite substantial. It can be upgraded with the colorless demon soul, so we could dupe the one we have and max it out at +5, which will increase its magic attack bonus to 30%. But we don't really need to, it's powerful enough as is. Besides, it also has the drawback of reducing our magic defense, so we should be careful when fighting magic users. Anyway, enough about the Chris Blade. Let's pick up the upgrade material and then enter the boss fog gate. It might be wise to wait a bit and restore our MP, but there is a very cheap tactic we can use in this boss fight to easily kill him. So if everything goes perfect, I should have enough MP. And if it doesn't, I can just use an Old Spice. After starting the boss fight, we should get ready to dodge his barrage of fireballs. After that, we'll have a bit of time to find a particular spot in this tunnel. This is the spot. As long as we stay here, none of his attacks will be able to reach us. So we can now just take our time and kill him with the soul arrow. The only thing we should look out for is when he uses his web attack. During this move, he's going to stand up and our spell won't be able to hit him. And since we don't have a lot of MP, I'll try to avoid that. But I'm pretty sure we're already past this point. Well, we could just wait it out and let the fragrant ring do its thing, but that will take a while, so I'll just use an Old Spice. Oh yeah, another thing to keep in mind is that every time we cast a spell, we move a bit. So eventually we'll have to return to the safe spot. Now let's use the Old Spice and finish off the boss. In the meantime, let's talk about the origin of this boss. As far as I know, this is just a normal spider that underwent demonification due to consuming souls. He was never a human. He really likes to screw with us with his web attack. Okay, just one more spell should be enough. Finally! He really didn't want to cooperate with us. But regardless, it was still a very easy fight, if you're abusing this spot. Now let's pick up the items in the arena and then go collect his boss soul and return to the Nexus. This time, we only need to store our loot with stockpile somas, repair our equipment, and visit the Maiden in Black for some leveling up.
I was worried sick about you.
Good, now let's visit Baldwin.
To you, for you fight on our behalf.
Oh, good day to you. I can forge weapons for you, at a fair price.
Actually, let me just check how much does the fresh spice cost. It's not that outrageous. Should we buy some to offset for using the old spice? I guess we don't really need it, do we? One old spice should be enough for the next boss fight. The one after that is free, and then we'll visit the Tower of Latria anyway, so I guess there's no point in wasting souls buying one. Okay, now let's increase our magic stat by a couple more points.
Let strength be ground.
I could use a few itemized souls to gain another level, but nah, I don't really need to.
Well done. May thine strength help the world be mended.
I think this is a good place to end the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing to my channel. It will help me a lot and encourage me to bring more content for you guys. I'm releasing new videos daily, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, when we'll continue our journey through the world of Demon Souls.